How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. I've got some great footage coming your way today. Spent 2 days down at the Dry Tortugas fishing and diving. Madeline and myself and a few of our friends. We got some great fish, great content. We had an incredible time. So check it out. I think you guys are going to like this. Be sure to hit the like button, leave some comments, and share if you can. I appreciate it. 2.5 days at the Dry Tortugas. Woo! Starts now. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. Got in kind of late last night. Didn't do much filming, but we were here this morning. Crew's getting up over there slowly. If you don't know where I am, I'm in Dry Tortugas National Park, my favorite place in all of the Keys. This is Fort Jefferson. If you've never visited, I highly recommend it. It's actually a couple days after Hurricane Laura just went through, so the park is strangely empty. We had our pick at campsites, which never happens. Normally it's pretty full, but we're out here for 2 days. I got some friends in town from Texas. My buddy Clayton's 30th birthday, so he wanted to come out here. We've got 2 full days of fishing, diving, snorkeling, all kinds of good stuff, so it should be a good time. Crew's waking up. Let's rock and roll. So we're doing a couple of sightseeing spots first. No taking, just sightseeing, looking at the sea life. If you ever do get a chance to make it out here to the Tortugas, make sure you know where you are, what you're doing. There's a lot of no take zones, a lot of no anchor zones. Pretty much the entirety of the park is no spearfishing. There's a couple areas that you can fish in, but like I said, make yourself familiar if you ever get a chance to come out. It's gorgeous, but doing some sightseeing before we look for dinner. It's a gorgeous day. So this is one of the wrecks inside the sanctuary at the Dry Tortugas. It's called Windjammer. Wanted to do some stop and do some sightseeing. I really like seeing this because it shows you how well the sanctuary actually works. We rarely see hogfish this big. This is in only 25 feet of water, and that's a pretty substantial sized hogfish. There's another mutton snapper I'm pointing up at. You can kind of see him in the background there swimming along, but I think it's just so great to see how well the sanctuary works and how much life is inside of it. It's really great. And I thought this was pretty cool. This was a different hogfish. He was eating some type of crustacean or shell or something. I couldn't really tell what it was, but he was just chomping away. Didn't really pay me much mind.
You see that thing?
All right, we are out here looking for dinner. First spot comes from about 70. It gradually rolls, but for whatever reason, I found this a couple years ago. For whatever reason, it holds a ton of life. See it all the way. Probably yellowtails and stuff, which holds grouper, buttons. We're gonna start chumming. We're gonna put rod and reel and probably dive in as well. Looks pretty good.
Let's go.
So I said earlier in the video that the majority of the park is no spearfishing. Just to be clear, there is a section of obviously the ocean that is completely closed off inside the Dry Tortugas National Park. Just make yourself aware of where you are. Once you get outside of those boundaries, you are allowed to spearfish, you are allowed to fish. They are marked with buoys and they're marked on most GPSs, so just, like I said, make sure you know where you are and what you're doing. You really don't want to get in trouble out there and get caught in the sanctuary doing something you're not supposed to be. But this was our first spot of the day outside of the sanctuary. Most of the spots I have down there are gradual rolls or humps or some rock piles. This spot, it really isn't much. It comes from 70 feet or so up to about 55 or 60. Just kind of hard bottom and fans and such. Just do my regular drop there. I had a nice breath. I saw a red grouper from the surface kind of nudging towards this rock. I couldn't really figure out where he went. It was pretty clear, but it was a little hazy. So I'm kind of slowly poking in this rock. Reds are a lot more friendly than the black groupers are. You can see I kind of have my gun ready to shoot as I'm looking in there, just in case. You never know what's in there. I start grunting there. If he's around somewhere, he normally will react to that grunt. And you can see he comes in here. I almost feel bad shooting the red groupers sometimes. They're so friendly, they don't really care. They don't pay you much mind, but they kind of sit still and normally give you a pretty good shot. And I had a conversation with someone the other day on this. I saw a guy that kept trying to grab the fish and his gun at the same time. The majority of the guns, once you unload them, will float. You'll see I always swim to my fish and I get the fish secured, unless the fish is running, obviously, and I just let the gun float away from me. That way the line's not tangling me. If I have the gun in one hand and the fish in the other hand, there's a good chance I can get tangled in there. So this is another drop on the same spot. This actually isn't the banana gun, obviously. This is its, we'll call it a sister gun. I built them pretty much around the same time. They're pretty identical specs, except for this gun. I have a bigger reel. I shoot a double flopper on it for bigger fish, and it's a true rear handle. The banana gun has a little rear handle plus style is what we call it, where the handle's a little farther forward, but the trigger's in the same position. See a nice gag there. He looked a little small for my taste. He might have been 23, 24, but didn't really want to risk it. You can hear me grunting, just trying to see if there's anything else around. Try to be real slow, no sudden movements. You can see that giant yellowtail. When we first hopped in, this yellowtail was mixed in with all these tiny ones. Don't get a lot of chances to shoot big yellowtail, but this guy, for whatever reason, was super friendly, hanging out with the small ones, and he actually swam so close to me I had to pull back and kind of hip fire here. But that is a full-size yellowtail. Anytime I get to shoot one of those, it's pretty cool. You can see I pull the fish to me, let the gun float, that way I don't got no chance of that line getting wrapped around. And try to dispatch the fish as quickly as possible. Same spot. I pull the gun back like I said in previous videos. I always pull it close to my body, kind of keep my head down. I do have a tendency to pull my head down and look. I think we're all a little guilty of that. It's hard not to look. You get so excited. Don't know what you're gonna see down there. Triggerfish everywhere. We actually popped a couple of these for ceviche. I was trying to get my buddy Clayton on a good mutton snapper, but they were staying pretty close to the bottom. Normally you can chum them up, and he's more of a 40, 50 foot diver, but we couldn't get him all the way down there. This mutton comes in pretty relaxed, gives me a nice broadside shot. This gun shoots pretty much the same as the banana gun does. It doesn't miss its mark very often. Again, pull the fish to me. Keep that line away from me, keep me from getting tangled. The gun floats up on its own. See a lot of people doing that where they try to grab both and they get themselves into a big cluster.
They're staying on the bottom.
Another drop, same style. Pull it to my chest, keeps me streamlined. Just more comfortable for me. Not necessarily the right way, just the way I like to do it. kind of scanning around. A lot of times I try to spin in a circle instead of pulling my head. You see I started to do it, but then I pulled my head anyways. Try to do as little amount of movements on the way down as possible. I'm scanning triggers everywhere, like I said. And another nice mutton comes in here. There's mangroves all over the place too. Another nice mutton comes in. Where's he at? There we are. Staying just kind of out of range here, and I'm trying to track him down slowly. And quite honestly, I'll take a porgy over a mutton any day. I'd much rather eat a porgy. And this nice, real nice porgy comes in and kind of distracts me, so I take the shot on him. Another stone shot. Not a huge fan of the bigger muttons. I'll eat them, but personally, I'd rather eat a porgy than a mutton snapper. Porgy's real white, flaky meat. I'd honestly compare it to hogfish if you've never had it. Tons of different varieties of porgy, though. New spot. I like that. Looks good. So this is literally a brand new spot. I've never dove it. I fished it about a year ago when I found it. A year ago is the first time I ever found it. It was only a hook and line trip. We didn't do any dive in that trip. This is the first time I've ever done a drop on this rock. It's a teeny tiny rock and over 70 feet. My watch read, I believe, 80 to the sand. Dropped a few chum balls. There was just so much life on the bottom machine, and you can see the amount of black groupers. I think my camera may have only picked up 4 or 5, but there was about 6 or 7 in sight, and you can see here comes the big boy, the alpha of the spot. I hesitated there on that first shot, and then it slowed down just a little, and I tried to stop the fish. If you've ever shot a fish this size, you do not want them to get rocked up. You do not want them to get wrapped all around the reef. It is a nightmare to pull them out. So I did everything in my power to try and stop that fish, and you can see it just drugged me straight across the bottom. So I'm really struggling. I'm trying to keep the reel line as tight as possible, so if he does go into a hole, he doesn't go way deep into a hole. So I get to the surface. I'm pretty much dragging that line the entire time to keep it tight. And it doesn't show it in the video, but I actually have Madeline come over and keep the spear gun as taut as possible, just so, like I said, so that fish doesn't get any deeper than it needs to be. And this is my first drop on the return trip. I really wanted to get down there and try and just evaluate the situation. I think one of the toughest dives you can make as a free diver is the dive to retrieve a fish. Your heart rate's elevated, you're excited, your adrenaline's going, you're just burning a ton of oxygen. I did everything in my power to try and get a good breathe up, to stay relaxed. I kind of came down on an angle on this fish. I wanted to be up and down because it is so deep. And you can just see the amount of bait on this rock. It's a teeny tiny rock loaded with bait. That's why there's that many groupers here. So I get down there, I felt pretty good. You can hear my watch going too deep. The watch read 80 on the bottom, and I didn't realize how crappy of a shot it was holding. The double flopper grabbed some skin there. I thought it was in the meat better than it was, and I put my feet, planted my feet down on the bottom there and just pull with everything I had, which got the fish out, but it kind of was a mistake in my opinion, because I burnt all my energy. I wasn't able to swim up with the fish. So what I'm doing right now is keeping the line in my hand, but I'm swimming up and let it pass through. Just putting a little bit of tension on it, trying to get the fish out of the rock. You can see I get to the surface here and I'm just pulling as fast as I can.
Clayton, come here, bring your gun.
I call Clayton over. I need a second shot. I realized that the shot wasn't holding very well.
Shoot him in the head. Shoot him in the head.
You can see here when the fish gets close, it is barely holding in, just the flopper into the skin. We needed a second shot, one kick, and this fish was gone.
Jesus, dirty 30, baby! Hell yeah! snake's going to Texas, baby. Yeah! Got paintbrush, son. Look at that. Oh. Woo! Yeah, buddy. Big one, huh?
That thing can last for 3 nights.
Back up.
Maybe.
Holy crap. So, first time diving this rock. I fished it about a year ago. We caught all kinds of red groupers and muttons and stuff. Literally first drop ever on it. I saw probably 6 or 7 blacks. So, curiosity in me, I wanted to do another drop on this. Took me a while to get my breath to calm down. Got everything resituated, and I wanted to do just one more drop. Just so much life. Like I said, the amount of groupers you could see in that first clip was just insane. I pulled the big boy off, which I was pretty stoked about, but just honestly wanted to have another look and see. This wasn't a commercial trip, and I knew that Clayton could only take home so many fish. You'll see here, I get close to the bottom and there's another nice couple groupers here. Now that I know how much the big one weighs, this grouper I line up on is easily 35 pounds. You can see 2 there. There's another one in the rock to the side. I didn't like that shot. I was a little far, and quite honestly, I hesitated just because I already had that big fish. We really didn't need that much fish to take home. I wasn't selling any of this. Another, like I said, easily 35-pound grouper there, but I let him swim. We'll save him for next time.
All right, I'm out. There's like 4 of them. It's ridiculous. I hesitated on the big one. I didn't like the shot. Phew! Yeah, baby.
So like I said, this was the first time I've ever dove this spot. There was groupers everywhere. Got the one big one off it. Quite honestly, it's a little deep for these guys, so we're gonna try and do some rod and reel fishing here. Got a live yellowtail on the bottom. We're gonna put some pinfish down and drift some cut baits. See if we can get one of these guys on stand up. Big man. He's there, he's coming up.
Almost there.
Uh-oh. Might be crossing a line. That's all right, we'll figure it out.
Got a reel, Bubba?
I got collar. Keep reeling.
Go, go, go.
Use both hands if you got to.
You're almost there.
Geez, this thing holds a lot of rope.
That's a lot of rope.
Something's following him.
Oh.
We grabbing that gaff, babe?
Hold the.
I got it. Keep going, Bubba.
Where's the gas?
He's getting there, right behind you. A little pick gaff. Oh,
Man.
Hold on.
Good break.
No, not the rum. Jason, my man.
Woo!
The yellowtail slayer.
Oh god, I can't reach it.
Yeah, lots of yellow.
Nurse shark. Something ate our yellowtail. He's heavy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you want the thing, or do you want to do it like that? I like it like that because it's a winch, but if you want to try it, the plug. Either a Goliath or a nurse. It's acting like a nurse, just heavy. Doesn't seem like the grouper we wanted. Oh, I'm marking it. It's at 40 feet.
Big old nurse. Dang it. It's not what we wanted.
Casey, come here.
Yeah.
You see a big shark
See a big shark.
coming up.
Ooh. Wait, I'm gonna back up.
I'm gonna back up.
He won't come at you.
There he is. Gonna have to release him here. Not what we wanted, but that's fishing. Woo! That is a wrap day one. Full day in the books. Got a cooler full of fish. Gonna head back to the campsite and get started on dinner. Maybe a couple of rum drinks. Let's go! Ceviche time. We got cubed triggerfish, lemon and lime juice. Kind of eyeballing it here. We're in the wild. So we're gonna let that soak, put it in the cooler, keep it cool about 20 minutes. We're gonna add veggies.
Yeah!
God dang it.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
87.
Very skinny.
76.
He is.
Way bigger than I thought.
Really?
I thought he was high 30s.
What is he?
Hold on. Conservatively 52.
Whoa!
Yeah, dude.
Woo! Life is all right. What'd you think?
Pretty great.
Killer day. It's just day one. We've got fish tacos on the grill coming up. Beautiful sunset. Cold beverage. Pretty girl. What more could you ask for?
Like his
Fresh triggerfish ceviche.
I know, just
Custom bowl.
Mhm.
All right, what's it? What are you doing?
I'm just thirsty.
All right, what's in here?
All right, we got a red onion, 4 limes, 4 lemons, cilantro, 3 plum tomatoes.
That's incredible.
Diced mangoes, bell pepper, red and orange, or blue, no, green and orange.
Green and orange, blue. They got a blue pepper in there?
Green and orange. What else do we got?
And triggerfish.
Oh, and then salt from these sweet people.
We forgot salt and pepper. Give it a try. Tortuga ceviche. Custom headlamp. Fish tacos are looking good.
Okay.
if I don't like it, you can put stuff on it and have the rest of it.
What a day. It's only day one. We'll see you guys bright and early. Gonna eat some tacos and hit the sack. See ya. So that is Tortugas day one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had honestly way too much footage to fit it all into one episode. So we're gonna do a second part. We throw the fish up on the scale. I created a new recipe, grouper collar tacos, Korean barbecue style. If you're not familiar with the collar, it's the throat section of the fish. We actually cook that up and it turns out incredible. You guys have got to check it out. Things are starting to slow down for me here in Key West. Charters are slowing down. September and October is my slow season, so we're making more footage. I'm going to keep the stuff coming. Hopefully we can get these episodes out a lot more frequently. And thanks so much for your time, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and share, and I will see you next time. Later.